first private sector funding that went to a government incubator. BIRAC, which is the Biotechnology Industry Research Assistance Council of the Department of Biotechnology, and ABLE, the association that held all the biotech companies. I have to talk about 4 companies that actually really, I think I'm very indebted. One is GVK Bio. Sanjay Reddy is not available, but we'll talk to him later. Sai, Dr. Rangaraju, thank you for coming. Very nice to felicitate you. Thank you for coming on 26th. Very nice to have you here. US Pharmacopoeia, Girish and Brooke were there on 26th. And thank you again for coming. And Loris Labs, Dr. Satyanarayana. All of you, I don't know whether you realize what you did for IKP. So I really feel so happy because your success reflects IKP's success. IKP as an enabler cannot call itself successful. And somebody was asking, what's a KPI? One is how your companies have done. If your companies have not done well, then you fall short. And Dr. Rangaraju, Science Sciences and USP, now is my time to recognize Dr. Satyanarayana with a very special IKP globe that we have designed for the 25th year.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. So this is a structure which is one of the 13 Archimedean solids. So it's a very strong structure, like a geodesic globe, which basically says the strength IKP has compared to its weight. So,
thank you. So, thank you. When I think my voice is when we wanted to start a research lab, we thought there is no better place than IKP to start. So I used to come earlier with my previous organization. So when I want to start, I met Madam and initially asked for some lab space. I still remember 10th of March 2006, we started our first laboratory in 1000 SFT space. And we requested Madam, so we need a bigger space, so please allocate land. Please allocate land. So we got the first anchor company to take 10 acres land in IKP at that time. And then we're very glad that today we have 500,000 square feet lab space in this park. Right.
Absolutely.
I think part of the credit goes to the visionaries of Hyderabad. We're only enjoying their success, starting from Dr. Reddy, Dr. Rangaraju, so many others created ecosystem. I think we are exploiting their ecosystem. So we are not great.
Exploiting is the wrong word. Optimally used.
No, in a positive sense. So I think for any organization to succeed, the ecosystem is very important.
Absolutely.
I think that's what we like IKP. IKP grew many-fold in this 2.5 decades. I think for us, there is no better place than expanding. So when we wanted to, we have invested 250 crore capex in the first R&D unit, although our capex is also equal. We spend 250 crores every year on this R&D. When we have an option to expand similar size R&D, we were thinking different places.
Yes.
But we thought there is no other place than IKP. So we requested Madam to give another piece of land. So we expanded there. We invested another 250 crore in capex, and we built second R&D center on the park. I think we are very happy to be part of the growth story for IKP, and it is a recognition for all the people who started their startups here, and also all the colleagues at Loris Labs who made this.
What's the strength now in Loris?
We have close to 7,000 colleagues working with us.
At the campus?
All campuses. All campuses. Hyderabad is a cost center for us. We don't get any money out of it. Corporate office and R&D in Hyderabad, so we call this as a cost center. So 98% of our revenue, maybe 95%, like 95% of revenue comes from Vizag.
Yes.
Vizag, we have a 8 billion liters reactor volume.
Right.
At Bangalore, we have a bio. About 500 people are there.
Right.
Total, as of now, we have about 1,300 scientists in R&D, all work on process. 1,000 in Hyderabad, and about 150 in Vizag, and about 100 in Bangalore, and about 20 in IIT Kanpur. So,
Yes.
so, but I think all the time runs. So we still feel very happy to grow and take your ecosystem for the better
Ecosystem
usage.
belongs to you. We are just a part of it.
Sacrament
All
of
of you
science.
make it happen. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
May I remind him of a brief?
Yes, yes, sure. And if somebody does not know Mr. Acharya took over from Dr. Sheila Bide as the principal secretary. So he was with our journey from 2003.
One,
2002.
to be precise.
Man retired in 2001 itself.
I took over, not
Oh, you-
within the time. I took
No,
over.
took over means as
2000 as secretary.
Secretary of Industries, you took over in
2001.
2001. Oh, I was thinking 2003.
No, no.
2001. Oh, fantastic. She
24
was
years.
at-
24 years for me.
Absolutely.
In fact, when proposal to give land to Lawrence Labs was being discussed,
I know.
there was a lot of debate.
Debate, yeah.
This is not meant for allotting land in the boardroom.
I know.
Mr. Vagul was there. Nipanita, perhaps you would have just joined. You were there. So we said that there is no harm. We have enough land here. So why not have a dedicated lab space, R&D space for Lawrence Labs? We are happy we decided like that. There was a big lobbying not to allow.
I know. At that time, we also had an option to have our own entry exit. We said no, we don't want that.
Yes.
We want to use IKP exit. We are one corner, we decided not to have separate entry exit. Use the IKP exit.
Vizag in Pharmacity,
Pharmacy.
there's another world-class cluster we presented.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Dr. Rangaraju, I will request you to talk about IKP before I show the other presentations.
Okay. Very briefly.
Because without life sciences, we couldn't have done what we have done.
I call myself an accidental businessman. I was working for a company for Manchester company for about 18 years. Came back to the university, asked me to come back and came back. Then suddenly, at one fine day, I had some business opinion. I walked away. And then I didn't know what to do. I started an inventory company. I used to talk about this every day. So I only had, as I said, didn't have access to any capital. There were not certificates. And I started with biggest interest. I think there was a time in those days where a company locally raised an inquiry to a local agent, customer will send it to Bombay, it goes to the principal, the whole thing was there. And here I was, suddenly, what can I add? Because I was doing the whole operations of a particular company before. So this cell phone helped me big time. I never realized it. Because what happened in those days, the cell phone used to be on the MD's desk. So that anybody who was there has to know why they called. They used to write. So that's the reason when I had this opportunity. But I had to survive. I would make 5,000 rupees a day, 10,000 as the company grew, whatever it is. So I used to talk to the guy, please give me one inquiry, and I used to talk to my principal. Next day morning, go to him and said, make a connection. I said, you both talk and decide, and I get my 1 or 2% commission. So this was started, when I didn't know what else to do, I started this because I had option to go back to US, but my mother was with me, trying to stay back. So I was forcibly stayed back here because all my children were in the US. Then it so happened a friend of mine I met, he said, hey, why don't you come to US and we'll spend some time together. So I went to US, Chicago. I met Professor Moriarty. We're having lunch together. He said, you sound interesting. Why don't you start a lab? I will help you. I said, okay, sir, I have nothing else to do, but if you give me an opportunity, I will do. So, there's 15 lakh, 1 HPLC, 1 GC. He gave us an order for 5,000 rupees a month. And Dr. Chandrasekhar was instrumental to it, who retired as IICT. He is the backbone for me. So, he along with one of his PhD students. So, from day one, we made a profit because 5,000 was enough for me to run the lab. That's how I started. But
basically,
This was in 98.
this was in 1990, August 14. That's why we are also 25 years
Oh,
old.
you are also 25. So 1998.
August 14. So basically, what I'm saying is, whatever is said and done, like he has started with my land, so he comes with big reactors. I had no money, so I had to start with a small flask. So I thought I can stir something in a small flask, make some few $1,000s a month, and I never thought this company is going to grow. I simply just worked at it, and it so happened that only one thing I observed, I've been always very honest and told them exactly what I have, what I'm capable of, what I'm not able to do. So with our customers, we have grown over a period of time. So today I'm saying, suddenly we found out that, even Merck came to that site. And they said, oh, doctor, you have this. I'm sure it didn't meet the standard, but still they came and saw me. And then, suddenly I found out that I didn't have space. Then that's when I came to IIC. And I took one small lab. And I think we ended up with 6 labs before we bought the site.
Yes, before you took
So we started growing
set up your
thing
set.
right now. But basically I'm saying we have grown with our customers. This is basically what it is. And now I would say that when I lost the job, I asked God only one thing. Please God, I need work. So it so happened that God gave me enough work so that today we have close to 3,000 plus people. We have close to 2,000 people here in this site, and probably we're trying to double the capacity
Yes,
of systematic
it
things
is
like that.
talking about that. Yes.
So I would say that, we proudly can say that because we wanted to understand the technology, what's happening in abroad versus here, we want to bridge the gap. So what we have done is we have put a process development center in Manchester. We have people working from Novartis, all big pharma companies who have worked in those companies. We have a center there, so they are process development they also do there. Then the discovery capital, I would say in India, the world today, is Boston. So the biology is a very critical area. So make people who won't accept biology from India that fast. So we put a biology lab in Boston. We have 35 people working there. So we develop the methods, we validate the methods. So then we transfer the methods here. We probably have 200 people something here versus the nation type of thing right now. I can probably say that we have over 300 customers today. And
18 large
out of the
pharma.
25 big pharma, 18 work with us.
Yeah.
So basically I'm saying it is the relationship we developed over a period of time. So you'll be very proud of me. So after all this, again, I found out I have no work because everybody has taken. So I am playing golf today. I went to the bank in 1999, went to the bank. I asked him 10 lakhs. He said, you're starting a lab and you want 10 lakhs? The concept of putting a lab and making money didn't exist.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's what laughed at me. So I had a friend's site with me. I gave that site as collateral because I didn't have any site of my own. And that site is worth today, I think, 70 crores or something. For 10 lakhs, I gave 70 crores to that. In those days, must be 20 crores or something like that. So that's how I started from, taking a first loan of 10 lakhs. So it has been a good journey. And I think, I've created an institution today. I'm very proud of our organization. And we run very transparently. I only ask people only one thing. Do what's good for the company, nothing else. I don't need any favors.
So thank you so much. You have always been a big inspiration for me. Dr. Satyendra, you may not know, many others wouldn't know for sure. Actually, whenever Dr. Agaraju came to IKP, I would sit with him in that boardroom. This boardroom didn't exist. And ask him about the pharma industry in Hyderabad. And he would tell me all about, right from what Anji Reddy does, what others do, all the stories. And if I know about the pharma industry, it's because of you.
Yes,
because all the stories I got from you. And it was so valuable.
I worked with all of them because Anji Reddy, I worked with Prasad and all very close to me. And I worked with all the.
Yes.
I'm in that age group, Anji Reddy is of 10 years more than you. Rest, I think, we are all same age.
So it is a fantastic journey and thank you. Now I'll just go over to Brooke to say a few words because Girish and Brooke
And if you remember,
Yes, actually I'm here from the years of this. I work for USP. So I think USP started here 2000, so it was like more than 18 years.
yes,
And we've been growing since there. We started with like a number of people.
Yes.
At this point, we have half of our scientific staff is already here. So we are like a volunteer-based organization, but we have inside internal staff as well. So we've been growing so much here, and I'm happy to be here. Coincidentally, I'm here from the US, so I attended this other event as well, which got the award from the academy, and then I'm here also with commission my colleague Mona. So congratulations.
Thank you. When did you come to IKP first? I think that was in 2007. Your facility started
The facility started 2005 or 2006, yeah. And then I joined actually 2012.
You joined in 2012. But even after that, you came 2012 or 2013 or something.
Yeah, I came every year or twice a year since then. So I think,
I've met you so many times.
yeah, I'm attracted to India, I guess, somehow. So, but before that, I think there was Dr. Sri here. So even if I wasn't there, he spoke so passionately about how he was working here day and night to build the labs and everything. So I knew all about it. Yeah.
Thank you.
So congratulations. This is a great presentation of people here. So thank you.
So I had the India operations for USP, and glad that you could join this occasion. And congratulations to you, Dipanita ma'am, and all the IKP team members on completion of 25 years. So just one addition to what Brooke said in terms of scientific staff. So USP has 2 lab centers, one in US, and outside of US, the biggest is in India, in Hyderabad in IKP. So that's the importance of USP being here in IKP. So we rely a lot on our scientific staff here and the lab work. So we started in a very small facility which was called as the incubation lab, and then we moved on to the current building, which is housing around 200 scientists, and then we took another space in the Catalyst building, which came up I think during COVID 2020 2021. So we were on second floor initially, and then now we have taken almost the entire first floor as well for extension of the labs. So thank you for all the support, madam, what you have provided, and I would say we are leveraging the ecosystem, and it's a synergistic relationship between IKP and USP. So I think it has grown, and USP also has grown with IKP growing over the years. So that's a win-win for everyone. So thank you so much.
thank you. Yeah, I distinctly remember when Dr. Sri was in the area and Dr. Sri was he was debating where to put it up, and he came to me twice initially. I think it must be 2006, 7,
No, 2005, 2004. 3 or 4.
He told how his plans, and he had made up his mind on Hyderabad, but debating whether to have it in the Knowledge Park or in the separate land. We showed him the facility here, and he immediately agreed. At that time, a couple of blocks were there, and it's been an interesting journey. USP in a way. Yeah, thank you. I'm happy that you've grown into a big campus.
It's a big campus and growing. So
Yeah.
What makes me so happy, today I've put GVK, Sai, USP and Lawrence, all of them are expanding in a big way. And that makes me feel so happy. Because it's just not their revenues, it's also the training and capacity building that happens because of this growth. So that's the ecosystem play.
Dr. Srinivasan is active?
He's still
Still with USP?
yeah,
No, he retired.
Retired. He in India or in USA? He is in US. Oh, he gives. Thank you. Although Deepanita doesn't want me to be named here as one of the, but we gave us certain blocks. It is not. Much before she joined, I remember one Dr. Subbarao, who was the CEO, first CEO perhaps. He and I, there was only one unit here. So we stumbled around all over the world.
You tell me the name, I'll tell you the story.
I asked him the name. He couldn't remember.
He couldn't remember. I remember.
What's the name?
Medicom Technologies, and that's what became Matrix Laboratories. That's what Dr. Satyanarayana was
I don't
doing.
I'm not aware of that thing. It was commercialized with the help of
You
TDP.
remember that? And that
We used to ask what is there in that. And we used to say the first one is there. So nearly 2-3 years we are running around of different exhibitions saying that this has started. We have one unit. Then Dr. Raghavan started the Toyota center called Avishkar. There was a incubation center for biomaterials for the Toyota company with IICT. They collaborated. It's been a very fascinating journey. I have enjoyed this journey for over 25 years now, nearly 24 years to be precise, but 25 years nearly. Thank you.
Also one of the early labs.
You believe Optiwave Photonics, Medicom Technologies, Optiwave Photonics.
And Activa, I mean, Prem Kumar Reddy.
That came out. That's
Open
Sundarajan. Medicom Technologies is the first one, Dr. Sundarajan, then Optiwave Photonics, and then GVK Bio and Science.
Onconova
Therapeutics came in 2005.
Right. That was Prem Kumar.
PPR.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sir, you're also that part of the government.
Yes. Yeah.
No. Don't put me in a logo.
And so
I feel offended. I feel offended. I
Don't
take
feel offended, Sheila Bhide?
No. It's not correct.
I think that's okay. I think Chandrababu Naidu and Sheila Bhide, because you have to just...
It was started. 2001 she left. Genome Valley was nothing except for Bharat Biotech and yours.
This is our celebration. We are not doing fine today.
Yeah. No, but I will.
We can do it later.
I will quarrel with you later.
You can do that. That's the whole quarrel later.
I'll quarrel with you later.
Today is our celebration.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so now I would request, we have a few companies here, like Adama. Hi. And you want to talk about your journey. And we have PI Health Sciences, which is a very recent addition. I don't think you would have much to talk about, but you have a fascinating setup. And then I saw Essentia. I like that Essentia.
Yes.
Okay, you're here. How are you? So, yes, so it's been a fascinating journey for all of us. And I would now play a video with remembering Mr. Babu. Can we have the video, please?
As we celebrate our 25 years, we would love to remember Mr. Narayanan Vagul, the founder of IKP Knowledge Park. At that time, it was called ICICI Knowledge Park. That was in 1998, 99, when this was conceived. It took us 25 years to build what you are seeing now.
Mr. Vagul I came to know first because he was the first non-full-time director of the Hindustan Liver Board. That's how we got to know each other. Then Vagul was an unusual mind. He was a banker by profession, but an innovator at heart. How do I bring innovation into banking? How do I bring knowledge in assessing proposals? He used to think differently. And Chandrababu Naidu, Vagul and I met him. He was excited about our idea that we'll set up a center for people who don't get space and money to do research. Where we'll have a place. And we got this fantastic place where the Knowledge Park is located. It is a fascinating achievement well before its time. I think somebody should write the history of the young Indian banker about Vagul.
I've always about Mr. Vagul as my mentor. He was a visionary. He was someone who believed in disrupting any kind of economic model. The kind of conviction he had that India had to invest in innovation was what inspired me. He was such a wonderful thought leader, such a visionary. He was just such an amazing man, and a legend. I had a breakfast meeting with Mr. Vagul, and he asked me about how my company was doing, and I then basically shared with him my woes. Not being able to access a term loan. He said, forget about loans. He said, I've got EDICI and I'd like to take an equity stake in your company. And he said, just send me your project report and consider it done. I mean, the kind of confidence he had in me and the sort of conviction he had that India had to invest in innovation was what inspired. I never looked back because I analyzed that he was really the person who was my savior, who was my mentor, and that was my inflection. And I will never forget that. Thank you for, giving me this opportunity to pay a tribute to Mr. Babu.
"25 years is a long journey, and that's a moment to celebrate. IKP Knowledge Park is a great institution that was built by an institution named Vagul. I don't call him an individual, he was an institution. I mean, he has been our guru for you, for me, for all of us. So my mind goes back to the origin. I actually got to know Mr. Vagul in a very interesting set of circumstances. So he had come to NCL, we had some program. At that time, TDICI was already formed. That was India's first venture capital company. And there was a conversation. I had taken over as the director of NCL. And I was looking at what they were doing, as a matter of fact. And they were, of course, funding. But those were not companies which were maybe high technology, ahead of the curve, mainly followers and so on. So I remember making some comment on the stage. It's very interesting. That is what Narad Vagul was. He actually came to my room and discussed it further. What did you mean by that? So I explained to him. He didn't react, he didn't say anything. That was Saturday. On Monday, I get a letter from him. Come on the board of directors of TDICI. You can't make comments from outside. Come inside and sort of talk. That is where our partnership began.
My entire professional life has been under his mentorship, and I joined as a 22, 23-year-old, and now I've just crossed 60. So it's an amazing journey that I've had. And I tell you, with Mr. Vagul, one thing that was just so remarkable that I found. She had a real confidence. He was not somebody that said, I have this idea, he's thinking about more than this. I think that was a multiplier. That's a remarkable, kind of trait to have. Yes, to support people unconditionally and to take joy in the fact of saying, this was not my idea, this was their idea. Thing that he should claim credit for is people like us, you and me, they are in the same basket. We grew because of his support, because of his mentorship, because he was there when things were not looking good. He would be there as a rock. And, a deeper spiritual kind of an underpinning to his thinking, in which service to humanity, service to the larger cause, always took precedence. Of course, he recognized everything has to be sustainable. Otherwise, you won't be able to grow in that. He always, whenever you spoke to him, you got a sense of what does this mean for humanity? What does this mean for people around us? What does it mean for the country? Yeah. And he always thought about ideas that would have an IKP very much as a result of, building something lovely, something nice, but impact.
Babu. He passed away in May. He was looking forward to this 25-year celebration, but yes, there's always a time when people have to leave. So we decided to name this building. We were already, our plans were on an expansion of this administration building to have this new boardroom. So we decided to name this building after Mr. Narayan Babu. So this is called the Narayan Babu building. It's been such a fantastic journey with Mr. Babu and under the mentorship of Mr. Babu. We have a short video on IKP's growth and some of the things that you would like to see what IKP has done. So look at me have that, please.
Dr. Balamanian.
Yes. He's very much there. Very much there.
Progress begins with an idea, a seed of innovation, carried by the winds of ambition. 25 years ago, the seed took root in the soil of Hyderabad. To nurture the future before it can be imagined. When the blueprint for India's first research and innovation park was drawn, it wasn't just about a physical space. It was about a space for dreams, for collaborations, for the birth of new paradigms. It was the year 1999.
Yes, it was the year 1999. India's vision for the new millennium was innovation-led. Then Chairman of ICICI Bank, Mr. Narayan Babu, had the same vision. How to actually make sure that the research and development produced from the country is translated and we have an innovation ecosystem built for the country.
Balamanian wanted me to meet someone who was coming from United States. He was complaining about the lack of facilities in India for providing opportunities for Indian researchers who want to come over to India to do some original research. I discussed the matter with my friend Ashok Ganguly. We felt that the research in India was totally isolated from business. Then we went and met Ramesh Mashekar. We decided to take a long-term view and take a chance. That's how IKP was born.
Hyderabad became the center for setting up the new innovation hub. It was called the ICICI Knowledge Park and later termed IKP Knowledge Park. The visionary government of then Andhra Pradesh and now the Telangana government gave us 200 acres of land, the outskirts of Hyderabad. That was the genesis of IKP Knowledge Park and the Genome Valley of Hyderabad, the life science hub of India.
Companies like Medicorp Technologies became the first settlers in this brave new world that was destined to become the crucible of transformative ideas. Innovation is a living thing. It demands nurturing, constant rethinking, and space to grow. And so IKP expanded physically and conceptually. More innovation corridors took shape. The International Knowledge Millennium Conference became a hallmark of knowledge exchange. The Garden of Life, with a plethora of medicinal plants, came up. The Life Sciences Incubator was started to foster an ecosystem where science and business could thrive together. And Laurus Labs became the first incubatee. Grand challenges, partnerships with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, USAID and DFID opened IKP's ecosystem to global innovation. The park became a platform for co-creating solutions that would impact health, nutrition, and agriculture on a global scale. The vision expanded beyond Hyderabad. IKP Eden in Bangalore became a hub for rapid prototyping, extending IKP's reach into Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities, and empowering entrepreneurs in smaller towns to dream bigger, catalyzed by government partnerships such as KTech Innovation Hub.
We have established IKP Eden with a focus of supporting hardware products, people who make real products, who find it difficult to get these products out into the market. So we support across all domains. We have a manufacturing space where we can do prototyping and small volume manufacturing, an electronics lab, and overall an ecosystem that supports product development.
To feed the ever-growing population in the country and worldwide, we need novel food technologies that utilizes deep sciences and new methods of investigation. At IKP, we have created the Center for Smart Protein in Bangalore. We have created infrastructure facilities. We have created programs to support legal aspects and also regulatory aspects of such food innovation.
With the launch of Sustainability Innovation Center and Catalyst, IKP created more opportunities for startups to actualize their futuristic ideas.
This is the new era. From pharmaceutical, biotech, environment, agriculture, digital health, agri-tech, including tech transfer office, we can claim we have all the elements to fire the needs of the innovation ecosystem, not only in Hyderabad or Telangana, across India and potentially around the globe.
Many startups face regulatory hurdles due to misinformation or lack of proper guidance. They created IKP Global Regulatory Forum to support such startups where we have got actual regulators, experts and ex-regulators guiding our startup.
IKP Knowledge Park has been empowering innovators through various partnerships and funding programs through the Life Science Incubator. Major programs like Biotechnology Ignition Grant, Amrut Grant Challenge, GenCare Program, Kavach, ICO Fund have brought various ideas into life.
I joined IKP Knowledge Park in 2019. Here, I expanded on the work that I was doing earlier to have an impact on the agri-innovations across India and brought in the concept of One Health with a focus on sustainable agriculture and overall planetary health. IKP is like family to me. We have an excellent team who collaborates ferociously to catalyze growth of the innovation ecosystem across India with our eyes set towards a global impact. IKP has today become a symbol of resilience, adaptability, and forward-thinking solutions, recognized globally for its contribution to furthering the horizons of science and technology and making tomorrow's world a healthier, smarter place. And IKP's people, scientists, entrepreneurs, visionaries, facilitators, came together, stay together, and continue to work together to co-create solutions for the world's most pressing problems. After 25 years of shaping the future, of moving the idea to implementation, from Hyderabad to the world, the story of IKP is still being written. With every discovery, every startup, every collaboration.
Forum, the three pioneers should recognize. One is Dr. Anjay Reddy.
Yes.
Here an API in this India today is the man. Second, Dr. Hamid, who always wanted to bring formulation at a cost to help people use for formulation. And Dr. Gerda is, for the
Dr. Gardner passed away.
I know that.
You know that. But Dr. Gardner
pioneers.
Absolutely.
Whatever anybody gives him,
why can't I make it cheaper? And because of course safety doesn't allow you nowadays, but in those days, because they were every trying new things, if some chemist or the head of the department wants to take a risk, he says, as long as you can stand next to the reactor and you conduct it, I'll give you permission. No, it's not allowed.
And of course, IDPN, we incubated all of them. They all came from IDPN. And that's the institution which led to pharma growth.
Yes. He found out how inefficient they were.
There's an interesting book which has come out which tells the story. It's called Beyond Biryani.
Yeah.
I will send a link to
No,
the whole story with very little known nuggets of information about how engineering started and how
the reactor concept.
Yeah. All that is recorded very interestingly.
Dr. Garda blue, the blue that you see in uniforms, that's called the Garda blue. That's a very special blue that India made for the globe. And we actually, when I was with Dr. Mashelkar last week, we were collecting Dr. Garda because everybody thinks that even like UBCT, now ICT, everybody owes it to Dr. Garda as a scientist, pioneers. And of course,
they're always ahead of the game.
Yes. Dr.
Always ahead of the game.
Yes.
In fact, we should also remember Dr. Balamanian.
Bala is there.
Bharwal mentioned it in passing. His younger brother, who in fact won an Oscar those days, long ago for Indiana Jones, some movie for special effects.
Yeah.
He was the one who seeded this idea to Mr. Bharwal that this kind of R&D park is possible in India. We should do it. Then he started in the first part of.
These are the people who are there in my lifetime working. I've seen.
Bala is there, and I'm constantly in touch.
We should honor him on this occasion on behalf of our He deserves to be remembered.
Yes,
his idea.
Very much.
His idea became a reality through Babu.
Yes. If you go to Garuda right now, you'll see a 30-year-old TV.
Yeah.
You ask him 10 lakhs for a book, he'll say, well, go and buy. For him, that's what his knowledge.
Yeah.
He's a real pioneer.
Absolutely. Dr. Garda is a real pioneer. He visited us in 2001, and that was a fantastic.
Money is not issue.
Yeah. So I have two programs to launch today, and we will quickly go to that. Bindu, will you take up the program with USP that we want to launch today?
Can I give a small suggestion before you get into that?
Sure.
One.
Sure.
To commemorate your 25 years, there are many states. We've been trying to spread this kind of a cluster in other states who are trying to make a beginning in biotech. Odisha has started, Assam has started. They're struggling how to create an ecosystem like ours. They ask me, how did you do it? I go there once in a while, try to help them. If IKP to Mark, you started in Bangalore. Bangalore doesn't need much of help at this stage. But states like Assam, Guwahati is a biotech park, nice facility.
I'm on their board.
To start some center, if possible, of IKP. Bhubaneswar, Dr. Ella has taken 65 acres, is doing a big facility. In these two states are ripe for a growth in biotech. Actually, India needs about 20-30 Genome Valleys all over India with the opportunity in life sciences. It will help if IKP puts its footprint in those clusters.
Yes, we intend to. And we have different kinds of collaborative methods of doing that. But we'll go to this first.
So good afternoon, everybody. A few months ago, I walked into the Pandita's office and she was in a meeting with two lovely ladies from USP, Anu and Hina, where they were talking about doing something to empower women in STEM in the entire IKP Knowledge campus, the entire park, not just at USP or at IKP alone, but we wanted to do something to empower women become leaders in the entire campus for all the companies. So today, with this esteemed gathering of all of you here, we thought this was a brilliant opportunity to launch this, and we launched it yesterday. But since many of you could not make it yesterday, and we want your support for this consortium, this initiative to become successful, we thought this was a very good opportunity to relaunch it today to solicit your support.
So I'll hand it over to Mrinal, who will talk a little bit more about it and take it from here. Mrinal.
Yeah, hello. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, IKP team and Dipanvita ma'am, for giving us this opportunity. So today I'm going to share talk about our new initiative, which is a collaboration between USP and IKP called as She Leads in Science, and we launched this initiative yesterday, as mentioned by Bindu. So as part of USP's DEIB commitment, we have already launched USP Global Women Network in January 2020, and this particular affinity group supports development and growth of women employees at USP India. So we are creating or developing women leaders for future at USP. And so we were discussing internally at USP what we should do next. And that's how this idea came up. We should go beyond USP, outside of USP, and build a network of women professionals within IKP campus. So we can go to the next slide. Yeah, so this is an IKP USP alliance. It's a collaborative platform which is conceptualized to address the underrepresentation of women leaders in pharma, particularly. And we would like to create this collaborative platform for development and growth of women employees within IKP campus. So not just restricted to USP and IKP, but all the companies which are part of this ecosystem, this IKP campus. We would like to encourage all of them to join this platform. And this particular initiative will focus on career development, and also it will offer a platform to share the knowledge of our women employees here who are working within IKP and grow their network. So I would say it's a very good initiative, and this will also promote gender diversity. So moving on to the next slide. So our ask is basically, we are reaching out to you for your support. So we will be organizing a meet and greet session next month, where we would like to invite all women scientists from your companies, organizations. It will give them an opportunity to interact, to know what's happening in other companies, and it will also give us opportunity to understand their requirements and how we can support them to grow them in their professional career. So we would we will be rolling out a survey to assess their requirements and also understand their preferences. And then so that we will be able to also organize some mentoring sessions, training sessions, and facilitate knowledge sharing sessions for them. So, and the next step would be, we request all of you to share a point of contact from your organization so that we can reach out to them and then coordinate with your women employees. So that will be our next step before we organize this program in November. And thank you again, Dipanvita ma'am. I would like to thank Brooke and Girish for their leadership as well as encouragement and support. Must thank Bindu, Anu, and Hina, and there are many other members, Sangeeta, Sudha, and Vishaka, who have worked together. So thank you, thank all of you for your efforts and commitment towards growth of women employees within IKP. So with this, I just want I stop here, and then we have another slide about our expert volunteers program, and I would request Luke and then Girish to speak about it for a minute.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, USP relies on expert committees and expert panels to develop our standards. Every 5 years, the cycle changes, and every 5 years we recruit a lot of experts from globally. Our focus this cycle and from that cycle is to expand the capability to move globally, specifically to India. We believe we have a lot of capabilities here in the pharmaceutical science, and we're trying to recruit a lot of scientists to be a volunteer in our organization. So my belief here is to encourage you staff and you scientists to apply for to be expert committee or chair of the expert committee member. So thank you.
Yeah, so I think most of you know this. So USP is a 200-year plus old organization, and we rely a lot on input or scientific input from stakeholders across the globe, not only regulators but academia and industry as well. Several public health organizations, human advocacy groups, patient safety groups. So all of them are part of our standard setting process. While we might have around 1,300 employees across the globe, combined all together on all sides. But I think the impact of volunteers is what gives us a sense of direction, which shapes the direction of USP. By volunteer, I mean people like you, experts in different domains, who apply to be a part of our decision-making process, standard setting process, give inputs, and that continues for the 5-year cycle. So our next 5-year cycle would start in 2025 in July. And that's why we have this process open right now to apply in different areas, whether it is small molecules, biologics, excipients, food, nutraceuticals, so many other areas where you feel your expertise lies. So please encourage your staff to be a part of this standard setting process, and you can choose more than one discipline based on your level of expertise, whether it is advanced, medium, or any other level. And then I think in case you get selected, so you come on board as an expert committee member and start contributing in the scientific discussion, and you will have a platform which you will share along with global experts from different organizations across the world. So that's the beauty of it. And then volunteering is a very rewarding and enriching experience, because in one go you sit on the table where you have several experts from regulatory authorities, industry, not only from India, but as I said, so several other countries. So thank you, and please encourage your staff. So that's the ask and support which we need from all the IKP and GB companies. Thank you.
I think it's a great initiative, and the wonderful, because we're looking for volunteers. I would request each company to consider some time for their experts.
So volunteering is actually the backbone of how USP works. So that's a part of our governance mechanism. So they become the part of our governance structure, our expert committees, which actually are headed by council of experts, and that reports into eventually into the council of convention and then the board of trustees. So, and USP staff is available to help throughout these committees. So they navigate and coordinate all the meetings, and that goes on for the next 5 years once the committees are finalized. And Dr. Chava has been on our board last cycle, so thank you, sir, for being there. Okay, so that's it from our side.
Thank you so much.
Yes, we have already shared the write-up. Sure, sure. So the resources, so FABA is well connected with USP. We want more people in STEM from India especially, so that they can be a part of the global discussion.
Thank you so much. Now we would like to talk about something that we've just initiated. We've been promoting. It's okay. I've heard, like Dr. Satyana said, you can hear me. I've taken a class for 150 people, so in Bits Pilani, so I can be heard. So yes. What if you know the policy of the Department of Biotechnology and the Government of India on BioE3? There is a whole thrust of growing the biomanufacturing sector in different aspects, whether it is biopharmaceuticals, whether it is agriculture, whether it's industrial biotech and other areas, healthcare. So what IKP felt that we need to really do is set up a common shared facility, GMP grade facility for clinical materials, so that growth companies, SMEs, and whoever needs it can use the facility. So we have not done it before because ours was more of laboratories where others come and work. Here we would really like to take one step forward and set this up. So from IKP side, Dr. Vishu is leading the initiative, and we have actually a presentation on the building and what we intend to do. So Vishu, do you want to take forward?
Thank you, ma'am. So when we were working with very small companies, IKP has supported over 1,870 small innovators, doctors, engineers, pharma companies to go into the next level with the branches in the country. And these companies, these NSSs raised 4,000 crores from these private agencies for our funding. And we have realized that they are able to do very well in the early stage tier 1, 2, 3, 4. But when they are going to the next level, there is always an obstacle because the investor doesn't want to put right away the 200 crores, the 100 crores, except few investors like our Laras branch, which is in the Laras Bio. So we thought we need to have a facility where all those innovators can come, and even the power companies who are thinking about such scaling up into the new avenues, we will have a common facility, dedicated biomanufacturing hub for biologics, biosimilar, monoclonal, and cell and gene therapy. So we have followed from other companies. So this facility will be coming up just behind the LSA, and I request you to play the video.
And here I'll say that Concepo is our partner for taking forward this entire building exercise. I'll introduce Concepo later after the presentation. So, Vishu, do you have those 4 slides on the specs? Oh, you've just printed and put it there. Okay. So, I'll just mention 1,27,000 square feet, ground plus 3, targeted accreditation for leader and well goals. Okay, that is okay. So, block 1 is for biomanufacturing and block 2 is for the multi-purpose that I said. And basically, this is the skilled GMP technical manpower, faster single window statutory clearance, quality infrastructure and equipment, of course, intellectual property and confidentiality, because if we have a shared facility, confidentiality has to be really, really protected. And that would actually make or break. We've talked to various organizations outside and in India. They say, will you be able to protect the confidentiality if we give you the material? So that is something we have to build the processes. And here, you took...
Big pharma will not give a common facility.
No, not big pharma, but we
Startups
need
but startup companies can do it.
the growth. So growth and slight SMEs. Development will happen there. So, and this is basically for collaborative research environment. And before I request Concepo to say a few words about the collaboration, I was thinking, does Bikers want to say something? If you can, does Rajiv, do you want to?
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning. So, myself, Rajiv from Bikers Centers, and then, of course, so we have included a small startup with the license and learning. Of course, we are not necessarily here, but like an activation and teams from this operation from all of those 4 years. And we are also hoping to get to the syndicated research body of here. And this is really a concept that things that are business and being taken by us and others for us, but for others also. So we are aiming to get this project to functioning and then start out with the treatment years, which we really for more big opportunities to advise specifically in India and others. So just to be short and then thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. So we would need help from Dr. Satyanarayana and I know you'll be in biologics.
Not now.
When we have the facility, you will be with us. Yes, and our facility will be ready by that time. So that's the right time. And we would need the help of USP, and we would have a separate meeting. We are calling a separate focus meeting. We already have started discussions on the construction. And I know that. So before I go to Concepo, do you want to talk to Vijay? Do you want to talk about? Yeah.
So we are a drug discovery company, small molecule, but I think 6 months back I came up with a licensed product, which is basically the same tool as say you'll see like from investors out there for them.
Yeah.
We wanted to license it, but the point problem was that where to do this, where do we actually where to site there in Bangalore, trying to kind of space to pick up and all of that. But we didn't conceptualize. We were still doing the self-therapy kind of program along with our small discovery program in the US.
Yeah.
But we want to break it here because those are very different from what we are practicing here in India with the intention that we go in the global, not global India. Right? So that's the concept here. And we're working on a large market of solid tumor targets in the cell therapy, which are different than anything that is being practiced here. That is the one.
So there again, Dr. Satyana will have a separate meeting because we want to make this a reality. And I have given, and there I come to Concepo and to Vishu. We are not looking at 36 months. We have to do it. I am saying, can we do it in 18 months? I know that is not possible. At least 24 months, a completely validated thing, so that we really are. And IKP board has already, for the building, we're putting in 50 crores. The project is 340 crores. I'm raising the money, and we should be able to do it.
By right grant or small portion?
There'll be a small grant. There'll be other. Yes.
Present MP was in IKP.
I know. And no, we have had a, but I'm not going to say something which I do not have it on the table. Yes.
I just wanted to say that incubation, there are large number of incubation centers.
Yes.
Many of them are looking for much bigger things. Like now, Raspan Incubation Center, there are about 40 plus in biology and pharma sectors. And some of them, like Bicus, your therapeutics or Vision, they are looking for much bigger place. Unfortunately, we could not come up with a incubation park at University of, within our campus. But I think certainly IKP is the place. But the most important thing that some of these promising biotech companies are missing, looking for is big ticket funding.
We have had this
ecosystem is not at all there, specifically in pharma and healthcare sector. And that is where I think maybe we need to fill up the gap, fortunately, that Satyanarayana could build a facility like that. But many of our startups are ready to build such kind of facility with 100 or 200 crores investment. But that is the missing link. That's where we need to, as an ecosystem enablers, we need to fill that gap.
I'm having discussions with various organizations to raise money. So the gap is 50 to 100 crores. That's the ticket India needs, not the 50 lakhs. Of course, that's needed, but so we are having several discussions.
Shaba will be happy to join you in exploring such kind of.
10 to 50 is the budget already for startup.
That kind of money is available, but
not accessible to start.
Many such companies.
You're looking at 50 to 100. Let's see how we go about. Probably we'll have a separate VC fund, or we're looking at various.
With that kind of funding, there are 3 companies ready from University of Hyderabad to graduate.
That's the collaboration we all have.
I just want to add that scientists are very modest. So Bicus team has developed a very complex biosimilar. It's called pegloticase, and I know there are so many chemists here. Out of 44 lysines in a tetramer, they were able to very specifically modify 10. And the original innovator said this will never become a biosimilar because nobody in the world can do it. And that molecule presented to the World Bank, they just received a 20 crore from National Biopharma Mission and World Bank. And they say it's better than the innovator molecule. Not better, but still. I just wanted to add this point.
Because actually they're so confident. What they have in their kitty is much more. And with that, you want to introduce yourself. I think maybe you.
Myself is Solution, I'm the head consulting center. With me, my colleague Sharaf is there, and Jay is there, and Kundan Kumar is there. I was with Alexandria. I think I was with Alexandria for almost 9 years. I know entire Genome Valley, how this has been grown. But on the other side, I also looked at IKP. I think building an ecosystem is one thing, and also sustaining that ecosystem plays a very important role. I think the 4 pillars which IKP holded, one is capital, location, and the innovation and the talent. That is what is all about IKP here. And we got an opportunity to work in this new project. It's a biomanufacturing hub. And also currently we are working with Laurus Labs in IIT Kanpur. Many of the projects we are doing, and one of the largest one was the Riyadh Biotech City, where the government of Saudi Arabia has asked us to work on a backward integration of 22,000, creating 22,000 manpower. So the world is moving from small molecules to the large molecules, where we are working with our state governments and the national also. I think congratulations, madam, for celebrating this 25 years.
It is a very big deal with the government of Telangana also talking about biomanufacturing. These two require
of course, suggestions that you about it. We try to keep, because we want to have multiple sectors, and we want to have the private sector flexibility. So that is something which sometimes we are not profit. So we will of course get whatever the government
I think we should start actually that from our university by the time the university comes in 24 months. We should have talent level. If you start taking for talent after 24 months, it will take another 24 months by the time we equip.
You hit the nail. So we are talking of capacity right from now, because without that, it will just fail. And we had also a discussion in our Bangalore office last week. Where do we get the right? Because those who have worked in the industry, those who have experience, and those who understand this field, and that's why to run the facility, well, we really need good people, and they don't come cheap. So we have to have the resources set right away, all the budgeting done then. This is a big exercise IKP. After 2004, after all our capex buildings and all, this is the large, of course, Catalyst building we did, but that was also about 27 crores. But this one is a much larger project that we are envisioning, and hopefully we should be able to do this. And
Normally what we do is, suppose if I'm doing a project, I hire the key person on that and a small team.
Yes.
And those are the guys who are going to work in the plant.
Right.
So they will do it exactly because they're going to work with the team. If they don't build it, somebody else come, he will change all the specs. Okay? You come to starting point again.
Do you have Nidesh here? Yes. Nidesh, can you just talk about the role? Because he's from, so Rajiv is also from Biogon and Nidesh is also from Biogon. And Nidesh, you can get this. We have our chief consultant for the project. It's not with Biogon anymore. So Nidesh, how much is the release? So why are you excited about this project?
So there is a lot of need in this particular area from the capacity side. We had a chance to talk to a lot of startups yesterday and day before in the the stalls which they have put up. Everyone is talking about that we are at 2 liter, 3 liter, 5 liter scale, and beyond that what? And when it was kind of told to them that IKP is coming with that, they were actually quite excited. And the opportunity is not only in the biopharma side, there's a huge demand in the smart protein area. Wherever you have the fermentation, downstream is required, there is a need for it. We also had this cell and gene therapy session, and I was talking to some people from the industry, and my question was that the way we have seen for monoclonal antibodies, that when people wanted to go to a CMO or a CRO, there was initial resistance. What is the same today in cell and gene therapy? And it has changed a bit, the confidence has gone up, but they are industry and a lot of other people are also looking at, we can see that the opportunity for startup here is much higher. For them to do something like that at this scale, cell and gene therapy is going to be a little resource intensive. So, and IKP doing this, which is an integrated part of it, there are a lot of unique selling point for IKP. If I'm talked about intellectual property, there's a lot of comfort which the companies or startups would have when they come to places like IKP rather than going to maybe some other kind of a setup. So I think it's a facility which is going to cater to a large number of people. Of course, but there are a lot of first-in-human studies. Let's say people who are doing it, many times they are into discovery stage. Confidentiality and IP is very important. These centers could be really enablers for them to do it till they see that okay, this particular NB is good to take it to the market. So I think it's very exciting. That's something. I think it's a good start point. And once we have that, hopefully the whole will backwardly integrate or forwardly integrate. What government trying to do is bioengineering everything. So I'll stop here, and I think I'm really excited to be with IKP to help them to do this.
What with the data with and other things we have everyone in this room to make this a reality. That, I think, we can do it for that. I think it's a good challenge.
Thank you, everyone.
Anybody has any other comments?
Remarks?
Foundation for the biggest challenge.
Yes, I think that is what is.
But I know somebody said, yeah, he had money. He gave it to some people to do it. And he said, don't tell us selling, we're telling you. I'm just saying. So now, because if somebody who doesn't know what the subject is dealing with, it doesn't have to know. And you have this before the technology is developed. So you get a process, it doesn't work, but the guy has the right process. So that is very critical.
Yeah, I think confidentiality is critical, and we have to build those firewalls. We have to really make it, and that's why we need people from the industry.
Confidential is a huge problem.
Specific focus on cybersecurity and along this confidentiality.
We have to have those walls built.
That's the challenge you have.
Since at least 5 people mentioned about capacity building, I would like to introduce, we have a very strong team having background. Myself, I have worked with UCB Pharma, UCB Celltech in Germany in a Marie Curie program developing interleukin-4 analogs, plasma therapy. And we have Ranajit sir. He has been our business mentor.
I come from the industry side. I work with Natco Pharma, I work with Shanta Biotechnics. In fact, I joined Shanta Biotechnics as the investor for the very interested. And we grew, and it was acquired by Sanofi. And the kind of, the evaluation that we gave made us all very rich in the process. So, then, of course, Deepanita ma'am, she advised me to join as a startup mentor 11 years ago. So, I've been with IKP now, of course, not only a startup mentor, I'm engaged in various other interesting tasks which come my way.
Ranajit, you didn't talk of Siva guiding because that is the thing that you can.
Yeah, I started my career with Siva guiding, which is now Novata. And by trading, I'm BCom and from this to that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And we have Dr. Samita Singh, who is heading IKP Bank.
Hello. So, with respect to biomanufacturing, I have worked in Biosimilars company where I worked for 10 years, mainly analytical R&D and quality control part of biosimilars. So that will be directly utilized for this latest.
So we're all very excited and we have to build that capacity.
I was thinking that line.
Yes. Because I think we need to move forward from what we have done so far, and that's it. Yes, sorry.
And we have Dr. Priyankana, Dr. Caesar, and Jaditya, who are biased.
So it's a large team now we have. Yes. And we have Dr. Sanjay join us, Dr. Sanjay Sari, he's joining from November 18th. Not hard. That's also we're very excited about. Sanjay, do you want to talk about your background and what you are looking for?
Thanks, Iman. I think it's a very humbling, I'm pretty humbled today, and I think have been overwhelmed over the last 2 or 3 days about the IKMC and also the 25-year journey. A lot has been achieved, and I think it's great to not only hear from the IKP staff, but also more importantly from those who have benefited from the IKP engagement, nurturing the startup ecosystem, and obviously great to see the icons of the industry here who have been such a pillar of support. So from my side, as well as my background, I have a PhD in biochemistry, but I've been mostly on the technical, commercial, and access side of the things. Obviously there's a lot to learn as far as I'm concerned, and I'm pretty excited about these initiatives. I was already thinking on how I can, probably enhance my knowledge as far as biomanufacturing and the various other aspects and associated with bringing this up to speed, and more importantly, putting this to use. I come from FINE, Foundation for Innovative New Diagnostics. So we are a Swiss product development partnership, and with operations in about 32 countries, and offices in 5 countries. I was managing the operations directly and also the access portfolio globally for finance. So it's a pleasure to be a part of this meeting today. Thank you. I'm looking forward to starting soon.
Thank you. Yeah. I think that's how we can formally welcome Dr. Sanjay Sari to the park, because if I welcome you, that's not enough. All the companies are together. And maybe we'll take an opportunity through November, December to actually take you to all the companies and introduce, definitely. I came to know Sanjay when we were doing the TB program with Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, TB control program, and he was one of our reviewers. But of course, that was not how he was selected. There was a whole committee that went through the selection process. But he didn't talk of BD, Becton Dickinson. He also founded the Office of BD in India. So he has, as he said, techno-commercial. What I'm also looking at, apart from the biomanufacturing, we've not discussed this, and Dr. Mashelkar, Dr. Ashok Ganguly, Kiran, all of them, in their part of the visionary exercise that I had with them, they said, Deepanita, now is the time to do global footprint. And Sanjay has a really good connection globally because he was working with how many countries? 32 countries or whatever. So that you'll bring to the fore. And we really want to see in the next 5 years IKP Global. Thank you. So with that positive note, we break now. And of course, if there is any other questions from Adama or PI or Essentia or other, please go ahead. Is there anything that you would like to talk about? Well, otherwise, we'll just break now.
I just joined Adama and IKP.
Yeah, because I know Dr. Biju Pillai so well, so this, yeah.
And I've seen that long before I've been in IKP, talking to different companies here. I've seen how it's going.
Sure.
And I think it's what is listen to the end and listen to all the big startup companies from being at the new location. One thing I felt, the commuting distance, which is actually driving. When I came to Adama, I saw very few women representatives, and I asked them, because in all other places I've seen them, right?
Yeah.
And only the roadways, there are no other ways that
we have tried, we'll keep trying. We've not got a multimodal.
But there are other government officers who work here. And you, madam, are good that have a good real connectivity to.
Yeah. We've had discussions with the government, multimodal connection, metro connection. That's in the plan, but in the fourth stage, it will take time. We're not seeing, but all of you make Genome Valley big, and they have to put it. So I think we have to just go ahead doing what we are doing. Government will do their part. Yeah. And USP has shown the way. They have, I think, 30% women, or 37% women. So USP has shown us that it's not the gender, but the will to do makes a difference.
Yeah. I'm going to play
How many?
Many.
Many.
I don't have count. Our entire biology is
all women. Oh. So we have, yes, please.
We have just started a few months ago, and I am here only for 3 months since I was here. But I have to witness the growth story of IKP, but I remember that in 1999, in December, when I finished my PhD, my seniors were talking about this thing. Then I went to US, and then this last 25 years, I'm in the chemical industry, pharma, agro, and all those things. So that way, this IKP story is very familiar to me, but good to be here after 25 years at this very important moment. And
looking forward to be part of it and contribute to the growth story and finally for the country also.
Sure.
Definitely we have to contribute to our country.
Yes.
So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
To stay informed about the startup ecosystem, subscribe to my Startup TV.